ẹ jí gìrì.
Ẹ jẹ́ ká gba òmìnira tiwa.
Ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ jí gìrì.
Ẹ jẹ́ ká gba òmìnira tiwa. Òmìnira ni Yorùbá fẹ́ o nílẹ̀ bàbá wa. Òmìnira ni Yorùbá fẹ́ o nílẹ̀ bàbá wa. Ọmọ aláṣọ ò gbọ́dọ̀ wá kìsà, ọmọ ẹlẹ́ran ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́gun.
Ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ jí gìrì.
Ẹ jẹ́ ká gba òmìnira tiwa.
Ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ jí gìrì.
Ẹ jẹ́ ká gba òmìnira tiwa. Òmìnira ni Yorùbá fẹ́ o nílẹ̀ bàbá wa. Òmìnira ni Yorùbá fẹ́ o nílẹ̀ bàbá wa. Ọmọ aláṣọ ò gbọ́dọ̀ wá kìsà, ọmọ ẹlẹ́ran ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́gun.
Ẹ̀yin àgbààgbà ilẹ̀ Oòduà.
Ẹ jẹ́ ká forí korí.
Gbogbo ọ̀dọ́ ilẹ̀ bàbá wa.
Ẹ jẹ́ ká fọwọ́kọ̀wọ́.
Lọ́mọdé làgbà lóbìnrin lọ́kùnrin o.
Òmìnira la fẹ́.
Ọmọ Oòduà kí lẹ fẹ́ o.
Yorùbá nation ni o.
Kéku lè ké bí eku.
Ẹyẹ lè ké bí ẹyẹ. A ò fẹ́nikẹ́ni lọ́kadà dúró la fẹ́.
Olúkálùkù dájú orúkọ bàbá rẹ̀.
Lórílẹ̀ wa o.
Ẹ ò bá lẹ́gùn bàbá ní òjò bí ó sì jó mọ́ bàbá nìkan ò lè múni sí. Àló ti tó gẹ́ a ò ṣe mọ́. Ìrẹ́nijẹ èyí ti tó gẹ́, ìfìyàjẹni ti tó gẹ́, ikú ọmọdé ikú ọ̀dọ́ a ò fẹ́ mọ́ nílẹ̀ bàbá wa. A fẹ́ kí èdè wa ó di pàtàkì gúnlé. A ò fẹ́ ètò ìjọba tipátipá mọ́. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọ̀jẹ̀lú ọ̀bàlújẹ́ ènìyàn yìí ẹ kó ráńgà yín ẹ máa lọ. Ká lè fúnra wa ní ètò ààbò tó péye lórílẹ̀ bàbá wa. Ìyà tá a jẹ tó lọ́wọ́ àwọn ará òkè ọ̀hún, ìfipábánilò yìí a ò fẹ́ mọ́. Bíbani ní nǹkan oko jẹ́ dídá ẹ̀mí àwọn àgbẹ̀ légbodò ó ti sún wa. A kì í bá nìkan ká fani nìkan ọ̀ya, ẹ̀jẹ̀ a máa lọ ká lọ gbòmìnira tiwa.
Òmìnira ni Yorùbá fẹ́ o nílẹ̀ bàbá wa. Òmìnira ni Yorùbá fẹ́ o nílẹ̀ bàbá wa. Ọmọ aláṣọ ò gbọ́dọ̀ wá kìsà, ọmọ ẹlẹ́ran ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́gun.
Òmìnira ni
òmìnira la
Yorùbá
fẹ́
ní.
o, kò sí nǹkan míì tá a fẹ́ ju òmìnira lọ. Àwa fàsìkò ibẹ̀ Elédùà ọba òkè kó fún wa lómìnira. Káwa náà kò lábẹ́ Fúlàní torí ìran Yorùbá kan kì í ṣẹrú. Rárá o, Yorùbá ti ń ṣèjọba bọ̀ síwájú kóyìnbó tó dé. Òyìnbó kó wa papọ̀ pẹ̀lú Fúlàní agbébọn pẹ̀lú àwọn Haúsá. Ohun tá a kàn fojú rí ni pé lẹ́yìn òrẹ̀yìn báyìí Fúlàní dìde ogun sílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Ó sì dá mi lójú pé ní agbára Ọlọ́run ẹlẹ́dàá a kò ṣàṣeyọrí ní agbára Ọlọ́run. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò Yorùbá Nation Now. Mo kí yín kú ilé o nínú ilé yìí. Ẹ ṣeun, ẹ kú ọdún tuntun tí àwa mùsùlùmí tá à ń gbìyànjú láti fẹ́ ṣe. Àkú ìpalẹ̀mọ́ iléyá pọ̀pọ̀ ṣìṣì. Mo fẹ́ bí gbogbo ẹ̀yin fáǹsì mi léèrè o, ẹran ọdún mi o, ẹ má gbàgbé. Kí ẹ̀yin ẹ̀ kó yọ báyìí. Kí máa wò pé kí wo ìwo àgbo yẹn kó lọ nígbà tẹ́ bá gbé ránṣẹ́. Ọlọ́run ẹlẹ́dàá ṣàánú wa. Tó mo kó nílé mo kálejò mo kí lọ́kùnrin lóbìnrin lọ́mọdé lágbà nínú ilé yìí. Ẹ wá wá nǹkan fìdílé tàbí kẹ́ fìdílé nǹkan. Kẹjá àjọjẹ gbádùn ètò yìí. Ètò Yorùbá Nation náà lágbédé mo dúpẹ́ lọ́dọ̀ Ọlọ́run ọba Elédùmarè ọba tó dá mi, ọba lónìí ọba lánàá ọba lọ́jọ́ gbogbo. Òun lọ́lọ́run ọba tí ń pàṣẹ sọ́mọ̀ tó sì múlẹ̀ méjèèjì. Lórí òyìnbó ó ń gbọ́ràn sọ́lọ́run lẹ́nu, Yorùbá ó ń gbọ́ràn sọ́lọ́run lẹ́nu, gbogbo alájọ́ sí lọ́run yìí papọ̀. A ò sì rí ṣùgbọ́n òun rí wa. Ọlọ́run mo dúpẹ́ o, mi ò ní fẹ́ waste time wa. Ohun tí àkọ́kọ́ bá wá lónìí ni pé àwọn olóṣèlú wa, èmi fẹ́ bi wọ́n ni pé kí ni ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wa, kí la ṣe tó fi jẹ́ pé wọ́n rò pé tó dáa jù ó ní kí wọ́n fi ayé ní wa lára. Pàápàá jùlọ àwọn tó jó lóṣèlú ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, kí lẹ̀ṣẹ̀? Ẹ wo lóyè Sunday Igboho, arákùnrin yóò ṣe ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ kankan àmọ́ ṣe ló jẹ́ pé àárí Yorùbá kan kí wọ́n dìde kan lọ sọ́dọ̀ president àwọn tí wọ́n rọ́nà lọ bẹ̀ ṣe ló jẹ́ pé wọn ò torí Ìgbòho lọ rí ẹjọ́ o ọmọkùnrin ọmọ wa ni rárá o ṣùgbọ́n àwọn Haúsá àwọn Fúlàní àwọn fi ọwọ́ bo tiwọn mọ́lẹ̀ láàrin ara wọn àwọn fọwọ́ bora wọn mọ́lẹ̀ kò sàbúrú tó wù kí Haúsá kan ṣe ní Nàìjíríà wọ́n ríro rárá o Haúsá ò ríro wọ́n máa gbé sára wọ́n á tún máa tẹ̀lé ni wọ́n á máa tẹ̀lé onítọ̀hún ẹjẹ́ ẹja yìí sí nǹkankan ǹjẹ́ mọ̀pọ̀ ọmọ Sani Abacha olówìn ní PDP ticket ní Kano Sani Abacha former president olówìn governorship ticket nísìn ní ọ̀dà PDP ní Kano state Major Hamzat al-Mustapha ó gbà kò ti president o ní Nàìjíríà kan yìí ó dẹ̀ ti emerge as a flag bearer for one party Hamzat al-Mustapha Abacha ni o ẹ̀yin bàbá mi ẹ̀yin ìyá mi tẹ́ ń wò mí tẹ́ ẹ ti gbogbo tuntun wọ́n pa ní 90s 93 to 97 to 98 ó dá mi lójú gbangba pé ẹ mọ̀ tún tí Major Hamzat al-Mustapha pa àwọn ni wọ́n mọ bọ́n ṣe pa ara ẹ̀yìn tí Kọ́lá Abíọ́dún kí lórúkọ obìnrin Kudirat Abíọ́lá o àwọn ni wọ́n pa gbàgbẹ́gì èèyàn ní Nàìjíríà pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ náà Haúsá ti forgive wọn wọ́n ríro wọ́n ti ṣe ráńkà dèdè bó jẹ́ Yorùbá ni ẹgbẹ́gbọ́n tó pọ̀lọpọ̀ sọ sí Sunday Igboho àwọn kẹrin ọmọ tí wọn ò ṣèdí bẹ̀rẹ̀ kan fi lẹ̀kẹ̀ sí díẹ̀ lómi kí náà pé ọlọ́pàá yìí Abba Kyari ẹni kan gbé lọ Amẹ́ríkà kí náà fẹ́ gbé lọ ṣe kó lọ jẹ́ pé ọmọ Yorùbá ní Abba Kyari yéè Ọlọ́run o kódà Yorùbá ló wà gbẹ́rù bíléèdì lẹ́pẹ̀ kan fi gbé lọ gbogbo newspaper láti máa bá tiẹ̀ jẹ́ sí èmi wá bẹ́yìn àgbààgbà Yorùbá sọ̀rọ̀ ni àtẹ̀yìn tí ẹ jẹ́ tẹ́ ẹ wà nípò kí ló dé kí lẹ̀ ṣe àwa Yorùbá tá a fi ń kọrin ẹyọ kan ṣo látijọ́ yìí wípé àná afẹ́ pín ní tá a fẹ́ tẹ́yìn wá kọ tí ikú sí tẹ́ ṣe bí pẹ́ ẹ̀rí wa ọdún wọn ti ní ká má blame àwọn ọba wa wọ́n ní wọn ò lẹ́nu ọ̀rọ̀ ló fà á ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ wá lẹ́nu ọ̀rọ̀ tẹ́ ẹ wà nípò kọ́ kí ló dé tẹ́ ẹ support mission yẹn ẹ mọ̀gbà tá a ti ń bà bọ̀ abẹ́fẹ́ káṣárí ẹ̀yin bàbá wa yìí Fúlàní control yín látijọ́ yìí tẹ́ ẹ fi dàgbà àwọn ọmọ yín tó rèé o ọwọ́ Fúlàní làwà ṣe fẹ́ káwọn ọmọ tiwa náà máa ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ni Yorùbá fi sọ pé táwọn fẹ́ táwọn ni káwọn dá dúró tẹ́yìn fi ní bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ kò dẹ̀ sí nǹkan tó fà á ṣe rí ibi tí èèyàn bá ti ń rójú ọ̀fẹ́ jẹ kì í fẹ́ kí bẹ̀ bí tó fà á nìyẹn wọn náwó yàlà wọn aṣọwó bó ṣe wù wọn ẹlòmíì tí ẹ̀ sọwọ́ di ó sọ di tọ́ì ibi táwa ti ń kígbe kò sówó eré àròwó náà kò tí tó àwọn náàní tó àtànàṣẹ́kù àtànàdánù níbi 2019 àbí kankan ó dà pé àsìkò kòró yẹn ní 2020 àbí 2020 la gbọ́ pé wọ́n discover oríṣiríṣi owó oríṣiríṣi látọwọ́ òṣèlú tó abandon ẹ̀ ẹlòmí owó ti jẹrà mọ́lé ẹ̀ owó náírà ó ti jẹrà mọ́nú ilé ẹ̀ níbi tó kó pamọ́ sí nílẹ̀ Yorùbá kan náà yìí ni o àti ẹ̀gbọ́n pé àwọn dádìwọ̀ òkè ọ̀hún wọn náà dídì kọ̀lé fowó ni wọ́n dídì kọ̀ ilé fowó ṣáà ní kó láyé ìmọ̀ ni ṣáà ti sọ lé ayé dàwọ́ àlọ́ ni ẹ wo bí àwọn kan ṣe ń ṣe owó táwa kan ń sunkún páàní táwa kan jìyà pọ̀pọ̀mọ̀pọ̀ méètè ẹ wo báwọn kan ṣe náà ní tó àtànà ṣẹ́kù ẹ wo bọ́n ṣe ṣòwò. bẹ́ẹ̀ni owó náà jù síra wọn tí kan head tí kan chest tó sọ di bọ́ọ̀lù owó ní ìtìlẹ̀ tí mọ́ yìí ó dá mi lójú gbangba pé nílẹ̀ Yorùbá á ka ẹni 5,000 tí ó ti jẹun àárọ̀ ẹ wo títàmù sọ́ọ̀sì aago 9 kọjá la wà lálẹ́ yìí ní Nàìjíríà ó wá dá mi lójú pé ní ìtìlẹ̀ tí mọ́ yìí lábẹ́ sọ́rí aago 6 àbọ̀ àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ ni la wà ní Nàìjíríà yìí ó wá dá mi lójú pé ní ìtọ́kù kílẹ̀ ṣú yìí o aláwọn kan wà tán ti jẹun àárọ̀ kí ni ká ti pè èèyàn náà máa lórúgbèsí ayé tá a wò tán yìí àwọn anìkẹ́ kẹta kóhùn dá yín lóhùn kẹ́pín ibi tí wọ́n ti ń ráyè nánàkúnà lóṣèlú àwọn tẹ̀wọ̀ ẹ̀ àwọn èèyàn ń ṣe owó báyìí ẹ̀ wá ní kó sọ pé ká pín ń bọ́ tọ́tí lówó ọ̀fẹ́ mọ iye tí wọ́n pín nígbà tí tọ́ọ̀tì election èmi ò ní dárúkọ ìlú kọ̀ọ̀kan àti primary tó ṣe àti ìtọ́dì lọ yìí mọ iye tó pín dollars ni wọ́n lọ́wọ́ Nàìjíríà mọ́ dollars owó èmi àti yín owó orí ẹ̀tọ́ wa owó òmìnira owó tó ń fi tipátipá gbà lọ́wọ́ wa ó lẹ̀ rí yẹn àwọn kan tó ẹ̀ sínú ilé ni ìyàwó ń jẹ olóṣèlú ìyàwó ń jẹ ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ̀rí graduate tó ń gun márúwá graduate tó ń gọ̀kadà àwọn kan náà ni wọ́n ṣàgbà wa ẹ̀tún ní o nílẹ̀ Yorùbá yìí tó bá máa wá sọ wá nígbò oníṣàkóso ni Ìgbòho sọ jazz Ìgbòho ṣe kinní kan Ìgbòho ṣe àwọn dẹ́m forí jìra wọn máa fẹ́ ká wo fídíò kan fẹ́ ká jọ wo fídíò kan ẹni tẹ́ fẹ́ wò yìí a ní Major Hamzat Ali Mustapha ṣe ìjọ tí wọ́n sọ fún mi pé ó gbé àpótí president mo tún béèrè pé ẹgbẹ́ tálẹ̀ ń sọ́nà wọ́n ní Major Hamzat Ali Mustapha gbá àpótí president ó dẹ̀ láwọn tó tún tẹ̀lé ilẹ̀ Haúsá bájọ́ ọmọ Yorùbá ni àrònú kú ni nígbà tí wọ́n bá tàpù ẹ̀ ó mọ̀ ní gbogbo ó tẹ̀ tí ìrìlẹ̀ gbé débi pé fẹ́ ní president ṣe níbo la lọ Yorùbá báwo la ṣe ń ṣe ra wa sí Ìgbòho wà ní exile o Haúsá ló ń dáríjìra wọn tẹ́ ẹ máa wò yìí o àlọ́mọ Sani Abacha ti win ni ó ti win flag ó ti win ní flag ó ti jẹ́ flag bearer fún major party Nàìjíríà ní Kano ọmọ Sani Abacha kí ló kàn wọ́n rántí mọ́ wọ́n ti forí jì nìyẹn kò sí tó kàn wọ́n rákàdédé ni tó bá sáti fún wọn ní tó fẹ́ jẹ náà rírò mọ́ àwa là ń tákù Ìgbòho gbogbo gbà kí náà pé orúkọ ọmọkùnrin Abba Kyari pẹ̀lú gbogbo ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ tó ṣẹ̀ tó dá wọn lójú pa nígbàtí pírẹ́sì ń pariwo táwọn náà dìde bá pírẹ́sì pariwo ẹgbẹ́ kan mọ́ tó bá máa fún Abba Kyari pátápátá bóyá wá fún lẹ́wọ̀n ọdún márùn ọ̀hún kò ní ṣoṣù márùn bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n ọ̀gbà kan gbé lọ Amẹ́ríkà o àwọn Haúsá dìde mọ́ ni àbí Abba Kyari ló jẹ́ ṣé mo gborúkọ ẹ̀ àbí wọ́n dìde mọ́ ni Yorùbá àwa sì wà bẹ́ẹ̀ tá takù Ìgbòho mú mi ní ṣépè fún Ìgbòho mo fi tí ara mi gbọ́ mo dẹ̀ sọ fún pé ṣé ẹ dé pé tẹ́ ẹ̀ ṣe yẹn àdúrà lè ṣe fún Sunday Ìgbòho kì í ṣépè torí kò wu èpè èèyàn tó jẹ́ tó bá jẹ́ nǹkan míì tó wà lẹ́yìn bílọ́níà ni mọ́tò tí wọ́n bàjẹ́ ní ilé olóyè Ìgbòho ní tí mọ́tò sọ sìn bóyá máa lè rí kan tó máa less than 50 million náà mọ́tò yẹn tí a náà lọ èèyàn tó wá nírú ẹ̀ tó wá dìsẹ́ǹdà rẹ̀ só lọ sínú pápá lọ bá wọn bí lọ bá wọn lọ́hùn ṣé torí kó lè jẹun ni ṣèbí nítorí káwọn ọmọ èmi àti yín bá máa ṣẹrú Fúlàní ni wọ́n wá dìde kódà mo ti ẹ̀gbọ́n rumors kan tó pè mí torí ẹ̀ rumors lásán ni kò jọ o wọ́n pè mí láìpẹ́ yìí láti London wọ́n ní ẹgbọ́n bàbá wọ́n ní Ìgbòho ti gba 500 ọ̀nà ti fún Ìgbòho 50 billion pé gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì ti fún wọ́n gbé wá Nàìjíríà secretly wọ́n wá fún ní 50 billion ó wá lóhùn ṣe Yorùbá nation mọ̀ mo ní kò jọ ìrònà fẹ́ fúrú yẹn tó fẹ́ jọ lójú kẹ́ ẹ lè mọ̀ pé mi ò parọ́ mo dìdí lọ gbé interview tí wọ́n ṣe fún Major Ali Mustapha wá ni ẹ̀fẹ̀ tí ara yín gbọ́ tó confam ní interview yẹn pé òun lóòótọ́ lòun gbapò ti presidency tí ìbá wá ṣe pé nǹkan ṣèlú yẹn ládùúgbò ẹ̀jẹ̀ tó wà lọ́wọ́ Ali Mustapha àwọn agbáko tí ń lu ìwọ́n dẹ̀jẹ̀ gbé àwọn àdìbò àlóhùn wọlé irọ́ tí mò ń pa ẹ̀jẹ̀ ń fi yín lẹ́nu fídíò pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ kẹ́yìn náà gbọ́ gbogbo tó sọ wọ́n bí léèrè wọ́n kọwọ́ bọpọlọ ẹ̀ wọ́n bí léèrè àwọn oríṣiríṣi ìbéèrè ó sì dá wọn lóhùn pẹ̀lú confidence pẹ̀lú fọkànbalẹ̀ tó ló ti mọ tribe tóun ti wá tóun ṣe yan mọ̀ pé òun ti ṣe gbé olóyè Ìgbòho ò ṣe lají Yorùbá ló tún tako ẹ̀ Yorùbá ló ń tako o ṣé ká sọ pa àṣìràn wá ni àbí kí ni ká pè ẹ jẹ́ ká pawọ́pọ̀ kájọ ṣe ń tó yẹ ká ṣe ilẹ̀ Yorùbá á padà délẹ̀ lérí ní agbára Ọlọ́run fídíò tẹ máa wò ní alẹ́ nínú ìkànnì yìí tí mo sọ ń bẹ̀ á mà ga o aago 9 alẹ́ ní ìpàdé mi láyọ̀.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mustafa, for joining us tonight.
It's my pleasure.
Good to see
you
you
so much.
It's
Me
been
too.
a long time.
Indeed.
This is your second time of wanting to become president. I know that your former principal, General Abacha, also wanted to become a civilian president because remember the very popular advert at the time, who does a cap fit? And there are a lot of Nigerian youths there who went onto the street to say they're marching for Abacha. But let's come to your ambition. You've been in the villa helping your former boss, but now you've been wanting to become president. This is your second attempt to be wanting to be Nigeria's president. But why?
First of all, I thank you for the opportunity bringing me to the fore. Since the convention and since I became the candidate of Action Alliance, I think this is my first television outing. So I thank you for the invitation and the opportunity. And now before I answer my own question, let me treat that of the former president. I think because the man is dead, there is no need for propaganda to continue to be upon him. This is honesty approach to that. I don't think he has ever told anybody he had any intention of running. That aside, my own, I decided this time around to answer to the calls of many Nigerians, elders and younger ones, from north to the south, and numerous associations with whom I worked with, to accept the call and to contest. And when it came barely towards the end of the closing time. So we sat down and then looked at all the parties and look at the party that shares common interests, common understanding, and our own manifesto, personal, and that of the party. So we realized Action Alliance has what we require. So we joined Action Alliance, and here we are so far doing our underground work. Since the convention came and went, we collectively are working hard from across Nigeria. We have not come to the fore deliberately, but working under the table, which to me is more scientific than the razzmatazz before the official kickstart time, which is the 20th of September.
Interesting. I mean, that's you've said at some point when you came out of prison that you have passion for Nigeria.
Right.
That if you have a background somewhat could be described as coming from a family born with a silver spoon. Some people would describe you as such, that it wasn't about money that took you to the military in the first place, that you have passion for. Is it the same passion that you have that is driving you to wanting to become Nigeria's president?
In fact, much more. My background speaks for itself, and I'm happy you have said so, so I need not to repeat it. I came, and then I had the opportunity of serving in numerous sensitive places since I got my commission as a soldier. And since then, I have done what you cannot appreciate at a glance for the opportunities and the services we rendered. But our records in the military speaks for itself for anybody to see. It's a public document. Now, the fashion we have for this country is much more in the sense that the challenges we saw yesterday and the deep appreciation of where Nigeria is today, it is for those who truly care. And it is that sense of care and that commitment driven by energy of patriotism that brought us to the fore to join politics. I'm not here for money. Whosoever you think or you see directly or indirectly coming into politics at this point in time and talking about money, then definitely something is wrong with that person. Nigeria has come to a point, at least we have shown concern. For the last 7 years plus since I came out of prison, we have been undergoing researches in and outside Nigeria, and our findings are extremely disturbing. So what any committed Nigerian should do right now is to understand the enormity of the problems confronting Nigeria. The new world order is changing, and we are not changing. The tide is changing. We are not. The world is running with the moon. We are not. People are flowing with the wind. We are not. So time has changed and we remain stagnant. So if you also take Nigeria as an entity and look at the threat facing Nigeria alone, then you can understand the enormity of the problems. You know, they said ignorance is power. People who continue to smile and be knocking at the door of death.
Is it ignorance or knowledge that is power?
No, ignorance is also power here. What I mean by ignorance is power. Let me exemplify it by animal kingdom. A tiny little phrase. Every morning, antelope will wake up and gaze at the grass in the middle distance. But because there is the sun behind it, so the grass in the middle distance will look golden, will look dry grass. So antelope is tired of eating green grass, so it wants another variety. So in the course of galloping to meet the dry grass, it will end up in lion's den. And lion will wake up thanking God Almighty, here comes my breakfast. If the antelope had known, out of ignorance, it wouldn't have gone for that dry grass. It would have ended up thanking God with what is before it. So that's this little phrase I can give you. So sometimes ignorance is power in the negative side of it.
You are a man some people would describe as one with 9 lives. You're one with a lot of controversies. And we cannot have a conversation tonight without talking about those controversies. You work closely with later military dictator Sani Abacha.
Right.
Let me start by asking you, do you have any regret working with him, looking back?
I have no regret. Once you join the military, you should be open-minded to work anywhere. You can be posted to North Pole, you may be posted to South Pole. You can be in the worst part of the world or worst part of the country. It is experience. I have had my personal destiny, and my personal destiny took me to where I served. All I want is wherever you send me to, I will serve and you will see the distinct difference, and I will leave it there for younger generations to learn therefrom and to enhance the professionalism and to enhance the status of the service I belong to. I have done so all my career, all my life. I never converse to be posted to anywhere. They saw me, they saw what they saw in me, and posted me to all the places I went to, including the late head of state. And I gave my life, I gave sacrifices that are indelible today in the records of the military that are there for people to see.
We'll come to that in a bit, because some people who perhaps do not like your face, because there are a lot of people who do not like your face. There are people who like your face.
See,
but then
see,
the question is,
yes, see,
we'll get to
in life,
yeah.
If the whole world like your face, then it shows they are a compromised person. But if some like you and some do not like you, then you are floating around.
Absolutely.
So it is
so that's why
normal.
I said, yeah.
It is only normal that
some
like
people
you,
don't like your
some
face.
don't like you. That is a natural state.
Absolutely. So
right?
that's why we get into why some people don't like you, and perhaps you may have the opportunity to clarify and speak about those issues. I mean, one would describe for those who were very close to you or who were near power at the time, could describe you as perhaps you look so much like a son to the former Sani Abacha, the late Sani Abacha. That you were very close to him. That in fact, I mean, it was when it was Chief of Army Staff, you were the ADC, isn't it?
I wasn't his ADC.
You worked with him until he became the head of state.
No. I left at a
CSO.
certain interval. I went for courses.
Yeah.
Then I went on a certain major operation that has to do with the sustenance of Nigeria, and I was opportune to have been picked to be among. We lost lives. We lost people. God decided that some of us should be back alive, and we did. We went and exemplified what we did. We lost so many people, and we came back with documents assisting Nigeria till this very moment.
All right. We'll get into some of those things that you've done, but let's talk about your closeness with General Sani Abacha. Some people would describe him as perhaps a single dead man that still enriches the nation he left behind based on the monies that have, for example, recently about $23 million was linked to Abacha loot, and you are very close to him. Are you aware about some of this loot and why some of these monies were kept outside of the country?
All right. This is a sensitive question, and all I want is for you to allow me answer you.
Absolutely.
Directly.
Go ahead, please.
First of all, if you know my background, money is totally secondary, and you may be shocked at the type of person I am. If I wanted to become a rich person, there were countries that were ready to make me a very rich person, and that would have compromised my professionalism, my commitment to be who I am and who I was when I was in service. So money is secondary. I didn't join the army because of money. I'm not in politics because of money. This country requires selfless services for Nigeria to come out of where we are. And I wish and pray that we can all appreciate, written or in mental sense, the difficulties ahead of this country from the findings we have. That aside, the issue of money, ask anybody, ask the military, ask those in civil, anybody will tell you that money was secondary. I have nothing to do with money. But there was a time I gave an interview about General Abacha when sanctions were enforced on Nigeria. Stakeholders of this country were called, agreements were reached, money were given to their accounts. But my greatest surprise today is that the media has not asked any of such big personalities to say money was given to you on an agreement. What happened to it after he died? None of you has gone to do investigative journalism. I was in prison. So many propaganda, so much messages, including those upon whom the money was given to in trust for Nigerians. But today, trinkle of it are being returned. And the question one may ask, was Abacha ever in those countries where the money was taken to? Did Abacha sign any of such account? Did they have his thumbprint? Is there a day that he deposited 10 naira? There are numerous questions that every simple bank, talk less of the bigger banks, should have as a data for the person that deposited the money. So my challenge is, where is one single paper to show that he has his account? I'm not sitting in for him, he's dead. But then the length of the propaganda from the policies he took, nothing more. I know he offended people by taking positive policies to sustain Nigeria. Many people are afraid to speak the truth. On my way here even, I just saw an interview by one of his ministers who were the closest to him, giving him advices. But I saw in an interview lately, disowning the same man. Remember, we will all die. We will all go back to God Almighty. We will answer. If General Abacha were to be alive, most of the statements and the propaganda you say were not to be. But because he's dead. But that's another thing. That's not what brought me here. What is of concern is Nigeria's future, Nigeria's sustainability, Nigeria's progress, and then for us to invest in getting our democracy deeply entrenched for our future to be prosperous for the younger ones. That's my major concern now.
So, I mean, in essence, you're saying that there are a lot of people who are involved in the transportation or the transposition of this money outside of the country, and they are still living.
I'm sure as a journalist you are aware that when sanctions were enforced in Nigeria, after Commonwealth, the then foreign minister came back with a debrief to the elders of this country from north to south. And some of the decisions that were taken was the issue of carving a means of making sure that the sanctions should not have effect on Nigeria. So money was kept to them. I gave that as an interview in 2014 myself. And there are some other people who have also spoken. But you see, because General Abacha had in the decisions he took, tough then, but it's all for the common good of Nigerians. He became an enemy to some people. Enemies at home, enemies outside. But the question I'm asking, he's dead. So I mean, hold on. Some of those people who initially sponsored, they did it to me for 15 years. They used it to torture me. To torture, I escaped to look like a human that you cannot understand. It's the will of God that I'm here talking to you normal, what I went through. But it's all false. And those who were used came to the court and testified. And most of these things that were testified that are today written in the documents of the court of law, the High Courts of Lagos, High Court of Lagos, Federal High Court, Court of Appeal today, they have all written these documents for everybody to see. But the propaganda then continued. You know, they use it. One, we were being tried in a normal court of law. Second, we were being tried on the pages of newspapers. What was written in the night is echoed by television and radio in the morning to justify our persecution. And that they did for a very long time. But torture, today, if we are talking about torture, no sane society or government or any institution can accept that. But the question is, they always run away from discussing what they did to us. The question is, who initiated it? Who came up with the writing team? And the question is, what are they afraid of?
Who are these people?
You know them.
No. I mean, you are here. No. If I knew them, I probably would have.
You have been following.
Absolutely.
No, I'm coming.
But the question is, who are these people?
You have been following all we were doing. See, I'm not the type of person that hold malice. I forgive them when I came out of prison. Something extremely difficult to do, I did. Let me give you a tiny little example. Burning you with nylon after you are deprived of food for 2-3 days and water. Then the next thing, they will flash your bread. And before you know it, they will pieces it into gutter in front of you. And you are in chains, hands, leg, and neck. Only me was that being meted to. And at the end of the day, they will lead the nylon and be dropping the blue flame on you. Soon after that, hours later, they will hang you, your head upside down, and then they will twist you. The hanging in itself is done in such a crucial manner that even if you are told to stand up and walk 5 meters away and then earn your freedom, that will not be possible. That is how horrific it was. Besides beating, besides punishing my parents, punishing my family, punishing, there's a younger brother I had who was arrested for 9 years. All this happened in Nigeria. I remember for 15 years, I'm the first son of my parents. I was only allowed to see them 2 times. We are not at war. As at that time, I was still a serving officer. What is the name of this hate? They did it. I survived it. I was told I was going to die. I survived numerous attacks, numerous orders to waste me. All failed. It's not my strength. It's by the design of God Almighty. I survived it, and I am here. So to those who did what they did.
Who are these people?
You know them. You know.
Can you say?
You know.
Because Nigerians,
No,
you are someone who is taking the first office of the land. So you might be able to come clean to Nigerians to say, these are the people and probably name names.
See, the large heart to accept punishment, to go through persecution, and that same large heart that forgives has thrown this behind us. What is my greatest concern now is what is before us in this country. Rendering services to the country, synergizing with all forces from across Nigeria and outside Nigeria to team up to make the difference. That is the fundamental issue right now. This is a priority. I have forgiven them. Yesterday is gone. My personal destiny is designed by God that I'm to go through that. Remember, in any phase of life you are, there is individual destiny, and there is collective destiny. So at every point in time, you meet people, you serve. The greatest thing here is, did you serve well? Were you loyal? Were you committed to your country? Did you leave prints that others will come and emulate therefrom? Or were you posted to a place and left it the way it was? Meaning you came and wasted people's time. Go check my records and know the type of person I am. So if there are people who hated me, it's simply because some of us believe loyalty to this country, loyalty to Nigerians is an uncompromised issue. And we came to do it. I suffered what I suffered. Look at me carefully. For the sake of the life and welfare and well-being of Nigeria and Nigerians, I'm ready to die.
All right, let's quickly, because you have a lot to touch, because you've not hit the nail on the head on two areas, but I'd like to move on. When you talked about the fact that... No, there are two areas that you have not touched on, and which is very important. They are very important. One is whether or not General Abacha, whom you are very close with, is culpable.
Hold on, it's your program. You have the initiative. When you ask your question, allow me land.
I've allowed you.
No.
But I said I'm not satisfied with two areas.
Ask about it. Ask it.
The issue, the one is, I talked about the monies that were linked to General Abacha.
Hold on.
And you said...
Hold on. The government of Abdulsalam Abubakar was the one we handed over to. I was the one that did the handing over. Every single tiny little thing, including the hooving of the room of the president, to show being detailed. That's how I handed it over. One, to the office of the CSO. Second, to the president, to the head of state then that came. Third, you remember there was nobody in the office of General Dia. So all the contents that were left, that General Dia was the vice president. We handed it over to the vice president, all around me. You remember there were detainees also at that time. I had to protect. And so in the course of doing all this, it took me almost 2 months plus to get all things done and handed over. And I did. And I tell you this, that's why I always hit my chest. The government of Abdulsalam Abubakar, the government of President Obasanjo, did not only investigate me at home. They now consulted foreign companies. They came to meet me in prison. And some of them I know are security agents from some bigger financial crime detection teams. Took my fingerprints, my eyes, went around the whole world, including Nigeria. They found the accounts that they were paying me salary in and nothing else. I'm transparent. I challenge the world. I challenge the governments. They establish panels, and I ask the panel, if you have ever entrusted me with an assignment, that I took 1 naira, 1 kobo out of it, I'm ready to accept being guilty as having stolen the entire resources of Nigeria. Till this moment, because there is none. I'm not that type of person. Hold on. I'm not that type of person. If you're accusing General Abacha of money, that's another thing. And I told you, I gave you an answer. It's because he's dead to answer for himself. But what I know is there was not a single naira that is government owned that I took or entrusted in my care. Have I answered you?
Not quite, but we need to move.
No,
not quite.
No,
the reason is, the reason why I'm saying that your closeness, the reason why I'm asking the question is because of your closeness. And I'm saying this money linked to him, you said, is because he's dead, and some of this money, some people are involved.
I served him. Hold on. I served him. Every officer, every soldier, take oath of office, oath of commission. Listen carefully. Oath of allegiance. I brought this issue when Oputa panel was established in the year 2000 and 2001. And I talked about loyalty according to the dictates of the book. If it is not 100%, then there is no loyalty. And we did. You know what I did? At anywhere you put me to work, whether it was General Abacha then, whether at the time General Abdulsalam Abubakar came and you now said, this was the role you should play. If they had given it to me, the same service, the same loyalty. President Obasanjo came after him. If you had appointed me to work with General Obasanjo, the same service, the same commitment or much more. Anywhere you are taken to, the moment your loyalty becomes a bit shaky, then it's a compromised loyalty. Loyalty to the commander-in-chief is loyalty to the country. And today I can tell you that aspect of loyalty is one of the fundamental issues facing Nigeria, and extremely disturbing it is.
All right. Yeah. I have a quick one because we are 1 minute or thereabouts to break.
Right.
You're someone who has been charged with all sorts of offenses, so from drug trafficking to plot to overthrow government to murder and all sorts of things. And you're enmeshed in all of these allegations and charges. Would you say that loyalty?
Yes.
Were those are the things that have made you, put you in that difficult situation?
I told you about writing teams in sustaining propaganda for 15 years on me alone. And because they wanted to do away with General Abacha. General Abacha was not to survive 3 months, and God kept him. And we came, took oath of office, and held on to that place. So to those who wanted General Abacha removed from within Nigeria and outside Nigeria, discovered that it was impossible. It was only possible if we are dead. And as soldiers, you behave like a soldier. And I don't hide my feelings. I don't hide my professional standing. If you give me the responsibility to guard this place today, nothing happens here. If it happens, remember we are dead. And that's what I exhibited. And that is what is expected. Yeah. A soldier that comes to be a compromised person is not ambassador of his family, is not ambassador of his profession, and cannot be trusted. And it's a shame to have such people who play with loyalty. I'm not that type of person. I take oath. I stand by the oath. All
right. You were trained as an intelligence officer, right?
Intelligence
officer, yeah. That's what you were trained in. Now, and you have said that there are some Nigerians who are like termites eating this nation.
Yes,
who are these people, and what do you mean?
This is a topic for another day. I said so from facts given to me and known to me from the services we rendered. And you know, I've been in this service for a very long time.
Who are these people?
And out of commitment and concern and care for the welfare of this country, I made this pronouncement.
And who are these people?
No, this is not the forum. Not
are they highly placed people?
Not met people from across Nigeria. When you are talking about the life of a country, a tiny little carpenter may be, a tiny little technician at point A might be, rich man B might be. So this is another thing entirely.
What is their plan? What is their plan of eating up this country? Like
this is you know, if you as a Nigerian sit and look at Nigeria and look at the number of years from independence to date, and look at the records of Nigeria and seek and take a glance at development in Nigeria, you know something is wrong, correct? Correct?
Yeah.
Something is very wrong. Those things that are wrong are what I'm pointing at. And God willing, some of us are in this business to be able to look at it and correct it legally, morally, and then democratically.
So some people are benefiting from corrupting this nation.
I think you know much more better than me. You have run numerous programs that has to do with these causes and these subjects.
So what would you do about corruption?
And numerous approaches concurrently that will go. And the structure in itself, to some of us, we found it faulty. We found it to be ineffective and then too small to contain the wide front of the corrupt persons in Nigeria. You do it legally, systematically, to be accepted by international law, and you condone it with ease.
Are these former military people?
Numerous Nigerians who are corrupt persons.
I'm asking those highly placed people you refer to that are eating this nation like termites. If you take the census
of this country in knowing the correct persons, the record speaks for itself. So we are looking at a time when we come with civility and legally, morally and democratically, to have this wider front of containing it. Identification of corrupt persons, persons doing damage to the system, will face the law. And for and on behalf of the country, for sanity to come in. Remember, no environment that wishes to prosper, especially wanting democracy to get entrenched, that should allow an environment where institutions are completely dead and you think you can invest there from. So today, you have institutions that have failed. So whatever you do will have no meaning. And that's why, unless institutions are now revived, corrected, molded, rehabilitated, at the end of the day, you may waste your time doing nothing, because nothing will be seen as an achievement.
Anyone who wants to become Nigeria's president must have an idea of how to solve the insecurity problems. Right. Shiroro attack is one. There are a lot of people who say one too many on the attacks that have taken the lives of many Nigerians. And I'd like to know, I mean, you have said that you will relocate to Sambisa Forest if elected president, and in fact, you will arrest the insecurity situation within 6 months.
Absolutely.
6 months. And several leaders of the country have been battling to resolve this problem. How would you do that?
See, I didn't make mention of 6 months. I didn't talk about relocating to Zambia without doing my in-depth assignment. We did a lot of researches, a lot of homework into what they do. We went to dangerous places and getting data. I know what I'm doing, and I am sitting on lots of findings that we have. And we now tested some certain people even in the system. Can you work with this? This will give you solutions. At the end of the day, the capacity ability to comprehend, to appreciate, and to launch yourself physically into doing some of these countermeasures. That is what will bring results. So many people don't have. There are people who are not ready to commit themselves to die. There are, but they are in high places. So to us, I have seen and known the thing. I have fought before, severally. I fought, remember, I fought before. I'm not new in the field. So if you say today, and God Almighty has vested power upon you, and you go back to your room and sleep with snoring, and the next day you are busy into attending some certain lower issues, but because of the lofty nature in it, you found yourself engrossed in it. In the meantime, people are dying. Then something is wrong with the person, with his psyche, with the oath of office he has taken, and between him and God Almighty. Because even in law, even in our constitution, first thing first, lives and safety and properties of the people in keeping the country intact.
Would you say that the problem?
To me, every insurgency, and this is the mistake we are making in Nigeria, once you identify insurgency, be fast in containing it. See far ahead of the people. Contain it before it now becomes a monster. If while you are containing it, when it rears its head at the beginning, the whole country will abuse you for misapplication of power, let them do it. When tomorrow comes, the same people will praising you and honor you. And that is what happened to Nigeria. When this thing started in 1999, when Boko Haram began to rear themselves in November 1st, 1999, that was the beginning. We are talking of 21 years, 7 months, or 8 months now, which is to me a capital shame in the eyes of the world. Our elders, our seniors went to fight First World War, Second World War, with all the peacekeeping, peace enforcement records we have had. So many of our seniors have fought and died. So many are still alive, our former military leaders who went and fought to sustain and to give our military name for the whole world over to recognize us. We came out doing tiny little thing at home and rubbishing all these achievements. It hurts some of us. And some of us believe we can only build on excellence and maintain and bring Nigeria back to the fore within Committee of Nations. I am committed in doing that. I'm telling you, whatever you hear me say, and to particularly with the military circle, we know ourselves. If I tell you I'm relocating to Zambia, I know what I'm talking about. If I relocate, I'm not just relocating to watch what I see. I have my plans. If you have your troops that are not responding to orders, I know my own. After all, an officer or officers who know what they are doing, you first of all come up with an in-depth written appreciation of your situation, an in-depth mental situation of where you are, an in-depth collaboration with international bodies, an in-depth technical support. The technical structure supporting the military today is a capital shame. I'm saying this. Nigeria, not even that alone. One of the causes of insurgency today, or promoting insurgency in Nigeria today, is the absence of technological, economic support to launch our brilliant young ones. If there is nothing for them to fall back to, they fall back onto anything so long they can have money. Today, most of the kidnappings are done for people to earn meat. And today what I ask is, of all those arrested, where is the central data of the interrogation findings so that Nigerians can see and know that people were arrested in the act, people were interviewed for all these 21 years, 8 months, and then Nigerians can take lessons therefrom and now make an adjustment. Right. We, out of commitment and concern, we took the risk you can never believe. We went to wrong places. We went to our neighboring countries to see. You need to see Nigeria from Niger. You need to see Nigeria from Chad. You need to see Nigeria from Cameroon, from the point of view of what insurgency is doing to Nigeria. You need to go to Benin and look at Nigeria from that point of view. You also need to sit down and look at the witnesses. One word, look at the weaknesses or the mistakes we are making. The question is money is the military being funded? Is it only a military issue? How many numerous approaches are you supposed to have created to grow concurrently in containing this? So it is larger than what you can think. Simply because, I said 6 months, and I'm talking about the commitment because of the in-depth homework I do, and that's the confidence I have.
We're totally out of time, but this is something, a commitment I would like from you. I'd like to invite you back on the program. But when I do, I'll give you a lot of time for us to have conversation, but you will promise that it will be no holds barred. You will give us as much information as we need.
Hear my words. what you said is accepted. I don't like even simple questions. Look for the biggest, the hardest question you can ever think of. Ask me. Whatever I know, you will know.
All right.
Whatever I do not know, I don't know. See, my name is Hamza Al-Mustafa. I have nothing to hide.
All right.
I went through what you cannot imagine. But the fact that I went through it and the fact that propaganda was run on me by some selected people, it does not mean that has changed who I am.
Right.
I was who I was, I am who I am, and I will never change.
All right. We need to wrap up these parts,
Right.
but I must sincerely thank you.
Thank you.
Retired Major Hamza Al-Mustafa, thank you so much for coming tonight.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
BGI TV yìí mo fẹ́ máa wò ọ̀rọ̀ tó jẹ tí ń gbèsè mo fẹ́ gbọ́ ètò lóríṣiríṣi wọ́n wà lọ́lọ́kan òjọ̀kan ìròyìn tó kojú òṣùwọ̀n àtàwọn ọ̀rọ̀ àgbọ́ fi kọ́gbọ́n eré wọlé fún tẹ̀rù tọmọ tèwe tàgbà ẹ má fi para. BGI TV yìí mo fẹ́ máa wò ọ̀rọ̀ tó jẹ tí ń gbèsè mo fẹ́ gbọ́ ètò lóríṣiríṣi wọ́n wà lọ́lọ́kan òjọ̀kan ìròyìn tó kojú òṣùwọ̀n àtàwọn ọ̀rọ̀ àgbọ́ fi kọ́gbọ́n eré wọlé fún tẹ̀rù tọmọ tèwe tàgbà ẹ má fi para àdànà kú kọjá mórí nǹkan fèrè bàbá rere káwí parí BGI TV we are the pace setter. Bàbá gbàgede ìmọ̀ tẹlifíṣọ̀n station tí dòde.
Iléeṣẹ́ amóhùnmáwòrán tó mọ bó ṣe ń lọ tó ní ìròyìn kọ́ńbọ̀kì tó jẹ́ yàjóyàjó ìròyìn àti ìsọfúnni àtìgbàdégbà àwọn ètò tó ké pọ́pọ́ flẹ̀ má yí kúò ń bẹ̀ má gbé kúò ń bẹ̀ máa jẹ̀gbádùn ẹ̀ lọ BGI TV bàbá gbàgede ìmọ̀ TV èdè ọ̀kìn ló dirí ẹwà fákòkò o bí ọ̀kìn bá tú ìyẹ́ ẹ̀ díẹ̀ ẹwà rẹ̀ àkàlẹ̀ àkà oko ẹ kàn sí ẹ̀ka ìpolówó ọjà wa láti bá wa dòwò pọ̀ lórí +234 70 38 22 61 60 fún àwọn tí ń bẹ lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà 070 38 22 61 60 BGI TV bàbá gbàgede ìmọ̀ TV ọ̀gá ni kọ́ń láwùjọ kùtà.
Bàbá gbàgede ìmọ̀ tẹlifíṣọ̀n station tí dòde.